Alright guys and gals, sweet project cars here with cool, trick, and affordable ways for the do-it-yourselfer. Here we go, I'm going to share with you what we did. Oh, don't worry about the overspray on the tire, that'll all wear off. I'm just kidding, just kidding. Alright, now that we've taken care of the rust, and of course I know that many of you are going to say, well, you should take those wheels off, sandblast them, and do all that. Yes, if you're going to put this in your showroom, in your collector's barn, where you'll keep this as a collector's item, yes, you can go to that expense and that time. But what we're going to do is what we've always done, and we've never had a problem with the rust coming back after we've used the Loctite. We're trying to be cost efficient here with this as well, but yet still do a great job. So now we're going to cover up all the threads. I just have this problem with getting paint in the threads. What we want to do here as well, focus on the things that look the worst. It gives you incentive to keep going because it is a massive project to refurbish a vehicle. Any vehicle, even if it's a motorcycle. Now when we did the Loctite spray here to stop the rust, we did 2 coats and the second coat was within 20 minutes of the first coat. And you don't want to do it in direct sunlight. But it works fabulous. We love this stuff. Even though you can see the rust here now, it'll never come through the paint. It's now sealed up and it's done. It's been neutralized. And another item you can use over your threads if you want, vacuum line nipples. They'll go right over it if you have that size. Rubber hose, you can cut pieces of rubber hose that's the same size as the threads, stick that over. We've used almost every method you can think of to cover up the threads. This is the easiest and cheapest way to do it. Well, I mean, maybe not easy, but, and we're painting everything white. The hub, axle hub, everything, all white. And if I want to paint this black later, I can tape everything off and do it, but I don't want it. I want it all white. So now we're going to take our handy dandy Milwaukee razor knife here, and we're going to cut a piece of cardboard just so we don't get too much overspray on the concrete. You can put plastic down if you want. I love these Milwaukee knives, the flip action, one hand, you can open and close them. Julio, tell everybody where the tools will be located.
Buscar en el show más de la descripción de video para todas las herramientas.
Thank you, Julio Cesar Chavez Rodriguez. Alright. Should they all be sanded down or bead blasted or sandblasted and then reprimered and do a paint job like you'd put on a car? Well, you could if you wanted to. That's not what our purpose is with this, is to refurbish this. And like I said, we've done this process right here on these types of rusty rims and never had the rust come back. Now, one thing that we do want to do, because we want to spray up here on the outer rim, otherwise we do have to touch up all this, is we take our special cleaner and we just wipe this edge right up here. This will make sure that the paint sticks. But the one great thing about using this Vaseline, the tires were slightly weather checked. They'd been, neglected. Most work trucks, they don't put 303 on the tires, I guess. But petroleum jelly is great replenisher to really bad, worn out sidewalls. So this is a good thing for these tires. Since tires are made from petroleum, the jelly actually helps to absorb into the tire and helps them to last a little bit longer. We'll still do the 303, but now I got my old painter shoes on and a face mask, of course, but we're outside here. It's beautiful, and we'll see what the first coat's going to look like. And of course you can start the truck up and move it back and do it that way, which we'll probably do to make sure we don't miss any spots. But for the video, I'm just going to paint it the way it is now and let you see it how it is. Don't need anything that's Mox-nixed any more than we're already going to have. That's our their one-liner for the month. One guy wrote a comment in and said something about, well, how do I use this on a smoke shifter? Because the wheels are ugly, I think it's going to really add a lot of enthusiasm to this project. I would love to paint the whole entire truck this white. I think it would look awesome, but got to be realistic as well. And then next year what we'll do is, if we still have the truck, because we want to keep it for ourselves, but we want to make it worth more, we'll take these all off when we're not using it and do the inner rim and the back side of this rim as well. All right, there's our first coat. We're going to leave it at that and come back and do a second one. All right, you can see how beautiful it is right now on the first coat. We let that dry about an hour. That's how simple it is. Watch how we remove the paint here on the tire. So effortlessly, it'll blow your mind. You want to let this dry probably about 24 hours. But you can really do this process, other than the wait time on the Loctite and other than the wait time on the paint, you can do this process in an hour. 1 hour per wheel. From that ugliness to that gorgeousness. All right, first thing we do is we bust out the big DeWalt Beast. The marshmallow on the gram to watch the magic. Fastest, simplest way to make your rims, steel rims especially. You could do this with other types of metal to make them look beautiful, but it's simple and a lot of people make more out of it than it is. Seen me hitting it with that 40-some thousand PSI power washer and that paint did not come off that rim. More to do on Boomzilla. Next will be how to stop the rust that's on it until we can get to it so it doesn't get any worse.